Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, listen as we break down the latest AP poll and give you insights on my updated Power 36. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized, on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly. Easier said, done.
This episode is brought to you by AutoTrader. Look around. What do you see? Cars. Lots of them. And guess what? They're probably on AutoTrader. Whether you're into timeless classics or the latest trends, if you see it on the road, you can likely find it on AutoTrader. New, used, electric, and one day, maybe even flying cars. See a car? Find it on AutoTrader. Visit autotrader.com to learn more.
That could be contested right away because I blew about 4 or 5 different times because I was trying to beat the breathalyzer, right?
Trying to beat the breathalyzer?
This is the plaintiff, Davy James. He says he messed up, was arrested on a DUI, and a cop stole his cash. He hired the defendant, a lawyer, to represent him, and the guy managed to get himself arrested before his DUI trial. Instead, he sent his brother to court in his place. He ended up just pleading guilty and wants the money he paid the defendant returned because he did nothing. He's suing for $5,000, the amount he paid to the shady defendant. This is the defendant, Benjamin Yu. He says he worked for about a year on the plaintiff's case, represented him at his first hearing, and was then fired because he himself got arrested. It's the plaintiff's prerogative to fire him, but that doesn't mean he gets his money back for the services he already rendered. You can't just go to a restaurant, order a hamburger, only eat half of it, and then get some of your money back. He's accused of not representing. The defendant has filed a countersuit for $2,500 for the balance of his unpaid fees.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
What you are about to witness is real. The participants are not actors. They are actual litigants with a case pending in civil court. Both parties have agreed to drop their claims and have their cases settled here before Judge Marilyn Milian in our forum, the People's Court.
Proceed, come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Davy James, you are suing your former lawyer, Benjamin Yu, and his brother, Kenneth Yu, who was also a lawyer?
That's correct.
Involved in the case? All right, for $5,000, according to you, you're out $7,000. You have a counterclaim against him for $2,500, which according to you, he still owes you. What happened?
I'm coming from a party, and Brooklyn roads are bad, so I'm avoiding potholes, got pulled over. And a policeman, the cop arrested me.
You're avoiding potholes? What does that mean? You're swerving?
Yes. The video will show that I did not appear to be drunk, Your Honor.
Well, hold on. So you get pulled over by a police officer?
Yes. I said, what's the problem? He said he smelled alcohol. So I said...
Had you been drinking?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Who's the lady with you?
She's my wife.
Okay. So go on.
Okay, I got stopped, and the officer, he handcuffed me right away. He started going through my wallet. So took me to the precinct and promptly stole $100 out of my cash.
The police officer?
Yes. And I ended up calling the internal affairs, and they said it couldn't be proven because he took the money outside and then went and counted the money on camera inside. So I'm on the phone with my mom telling her this, and the defendant is eavesdropping on my phone call.
Okay.
I always knew to get your own, go seek your own counsel, not to get the hustlers who approach you, you know?
Okay.
But I like the guy. Against my better judgment, I retained him.
Okay.
You know, so
all right.
He asked me the particulars of my case, and I told him. I showed him the video, which I had on my phone, and he pointed out right there that that could be contested right away because I blew about 4 or 5 different times because I was trying to beat the breathalyzer.
Trying to beat the breathalyzer?
Yeah, by blowing too little.
So, was there a reading?
Yes, there was a reading.
What was the reading?
I believe it was about a 1.0, the one that actually read.
And what's illegal in your state?
0.08.
0.08. All right, so you blew over. That's why they arrested you.
Yeah, so actually I don't drink anymore, Your Honor. So
Okay, well, that's
I learned my
good.
lesson.
Something good came out of it. Okay.
So defendant pointed out that the fact that I blew.
Did you say you have the video?
Yes.
I'd like to see it. Let's see how you look on the video. Do you have it? Oh,
That's offered breath test to Davy O. James, arrest number to file from 75 precinct. Time
Wife, have you seen this before?
04:18 a.m. Sir, you've been arrested for
Okay, blah, blah, blah. Can we fast forward?
Alcohol or drugs.
fast forward to the point in time when he's actually doing the actual physical test. There we go. That's it.
Whenever you're ready, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1,
Wow, you can hold your liquor.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Very good. All right.
Okay, I've seen enough. They have you do this thing too, right?
Yes,
And you did it like a champ.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So now let me just ask you a question, Mr. James. You hire him and you're happy at the beginning.
Yes.
When do you become unhappy?
When I hired him and he watched the video, he stated, "Oh, you blew like 3 or 4 times in the same thing. They were supposed to change it." So my argument could be that could have been residual alcohol. So I started loving this guy. Okay, so
Residue
now-
alcohol from who? The thing was previously sealed.
No, he said it was supposed
Oh, your
to change
own
it.
your own breath?
Yes, if you keep blowing in the same, there is a possibility, not saying it's 100%, but there's a possibility that you accumulate alcohol in the mouthpiece over.
Except for that, if you blow a little and you blow a little, it's no different than blowing for 10 seconds.
Okay.
All right, but go ahead.
And he also stated that his fee was $5,000, and he's going to charge me. He has an expert who used to do what that guy did, the breathalyzer expert, that charges $2,500.
Okay, so go ahead.
Okay, so when I stopped liking him is when I had my hearing,
Okay.
and the officer now he felt the need to exaggerate a lot of stuff to make his case. First, he said I was disheveled and dirty. I was
You
not.
don't look disheveled and dirty.
Okay. Secondly, he said I was slurring my speech, which I wasn't.
Okay.
Thirdly, he
but
said,
what did he do wrong?
It's not what he did, it's what he did not
Didn't do. You felt like he didn't cross-examine. He didn't give the officer a hard time and cross-examine.
I asked him to show the tape to discredit what the officer was saying, and he kept doing this. I asked him to tell the judge that the officer stole my money, even though that wasn't proven. I at least tell the judge that the guy didn't give me a property slip. There's something shady there.
Okay, but none of that stuff matters to a preliminary hearing. There's a reason why your lawyer's telling you, well, wait. You may disagree with it, but in any event, the case gets set for trial.
I don't know exactly. I'm not a lawyer, so we're
Okay.
going to court, and
Okay.
I find that.
What was that next hearing that they're going to court for?
Well, first you get a decision on the hearing.
Right.
And then you go back to court to set the hearing date. So it's
Is
not
that the trial date?
Yes.
All right.
You go to court many times without going
Until
to
you're
trial.
just totally exhausted and take a plea. How many times did you go to court?
I believe at minimum 5 times.
That many times? Wow. So it's set for trial, and what happens?
I didn't get a trial date, first of all, and secondly, every time I had a court date, I had to call Mr. Yu. I've never had that experience with an attorney before.
How many attorneys have you had?
I used to be a street side pharmacist here.
You used to be a what?
Street side pharmacist.
A street side pharmacist? You used to sell drugs? How many times have you been arrested?
Lost count, Your Honor. I changed my life, Your Honor.
Okay.
As
So
over a
go on.
decade ago.
Okay, your wife is just wanting the ground to swallow her up. Go ahead.
So I always get called a few days before the court date. I've never had to stalk a lawyer
Okay.
before. And even on the court date, I have a letter, email here.
Okay, so he wasn't responsive.
No.
And he wasn't proactive.
No. I'm calling him. I can't get him on the phone. Then some stranger called me, says his name is Kenneth Yu. He's Benjamin's brother. I said, where's Benjamin? I can't get in touch with the guy. We have a court date coming up. He said, my brother's out of town. He asked me to represent you until he's back. I said, okay, I have no problem with that. So I gave him $500 more because I had a balance. Then we went and signed court.
So how much total did you pay them each time you paid?
He emailed me receipts, and they totaled $6,000.
Let me see them. All right, so then what happens?
Then, as soon as we sat in court, this is the last one. Which said
Those are things that say you paid.
Yes.
Okay, and then what happens?
Then 2 seconds we sat in court, his brother calls me back out and said, oh, I have to inform you, my brother's been arrested. I said, give me my money back. He said, I can't do that. And I was about, because he's a small guy, I was going to take it, but then I looked around and I was going to catch another
Not
case.
a good idea. What did he get arrested for?
He got arrested for, right here, Your Honor. He was bribing court workers in Manhattan to slide him rich clients with a promise of a quick arraignment because he had a couple of the
And then what? And supposedly he was giving them money for stirring
Yes, he was.
businesses with? Did you get arrested?
Proof is right
Yes,
here.
I did.
What'd you get arrested for?
Allegedly bribing a court official.
In order to have business funneled your way?
Allegedly.
Have you been to trial on it?
It's not scheduled for trial yet,
But it hasn't been dropped.
it has not been dropped.
And, wow.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here in front of the TMZ Hollywood Tour Bus. So the question, does the client get his money back from the defendant, even though the contract says the retainer is non-refundable?
He should get some money back if he did some work. He should be allowed to get something back.
So you pay the attorney for some of the work he actually did?
Yes, he should get some type of pay.
But the dude got arrested and he couldn't do the job.
Yeah, he should get paid for some of the work that he's done, but
Okay.
also you don't go into a case with a lawyer expecting them to get arrested.
You were, well, that's true too. You were scoffing.
I mean, if it says it's non-refundable, it's non-refundable. That's simple as it gets. I mean, if you get arrested, that sucks, but it's still non-refundable.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
What's going on with your license?
I'm still licensed to practice.
So are you doing a lot of criminal cases these days?
No, but
Okay.
it does not apply in this case.
Nah,
because
no.
it is-
What do you think? You're going to teach me this? All right. Okay. So how many times did the brother represent you?
Once.
When did you plead?
The next court date.
And the next court date, who was your lawyer?
I got a court-appointed 18B lawyer because I told him my funds were depleted and I was unemployed at the moment.
What did you plead to?
DWI, and I had to go to join a program and task
Okay.
where I had to wear a scram bracelet for 90 days and pay $1,500.
Probably the best thing that ever happened to you.
Yeah, actually.
Right? You knew where he was. You
It
know?
wasn't a locator, Your Honor. It was an alcohol monitor bracelet.
Listen, you don't need to have the government put an ankle bracelet on him to have a locator on him. You and I will talk later. Okay, so if I understand you correctly, you want every penny you ever paid these fellows back.
No, Your Honor.
Well, that's what you're suing for. You're suing for $5,000. It's statutory maximum.
I gave him $6,500.
According to these receipts, it looks like he did pay you $6,500. Is that right?
According to my records, he paid me about $6.
Well, is that because your brother took $500?
I don't believe so.
Mr. You know that what they're charging you with would not only be criminal if true, but highly unethical and would jeopardize your license, right?
Correct.
So you are absolutely presumed innocent, but you understand how that guy might be saying, are you kidding me? And then he ends up with the public defender anyway and then wants his money back. Now, the thing is, you're acting as though there wasn't any representation.
I didn't see him standing up for me, Your Honor. I did not see him standing up. If you're being represented by someone and officers there telling lies on you, you expect your attorney to prove that this officer is lying.
So tell us why, in a nutshell, the things he was asking you to say at a preliminary hearing you didn't want to say. Go ahead.
Well, I did cross-examine the police officer, but the preliminary hearing is very limited. I can't ask him questions about did he steal defendant's money. There's a different forum for that.
So what the tactic is, I'm telling you because I did this. I was a prosecutor for 10 years. The point of the hearing is to get the officer on record saying things that might trip him up later. That's the reason that you get a lawyer, because you have to have representation. You can't just do the nutty thing you want to do that's going to backfire on you because you don't know because you're not a lawyer. So you have a counterclaim against him for $2,500. You got arrested, dude. He doesn't want you as his lawyer anymore. And he ended up pleading the case out with another lawyer. He didn't want you, understandably, to finish. So no, on your counterclaim against him, 0. But on your claim against him, however bad it may be, has nothing to do with whether or not he rendered the legal services. I have to rule on that completely separate of whatever horrible things that you're telling me. because you did get legal representation for all of that time. Okay? You don't get any of the $5,000 back. On your lawsuit against him, I rule for him. And on his lawsuit against you, I rule for you. Good luck, gentlemen.
Let's get some comment from the plaintiff here coming out of the courtroom. Well, you got what you paid for on your lawsuit, so you don't get anything in your judgment here. What's your reaction to this?
Defendant gives a new meaning to the term criminal lawyer. That's all I have to say.
Talking about you there. Are you proud of your actions? Do you defend your actions? Do you have any regret about any of your actions?
I'm completely innocent, so I have no regrets.
Okay. Harvey?
You know what? I mean, I get it. These retainer agreements are a pain in the ass and they're long, but it is so important that if you hire a lawyer, you really have got to read one. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, listen as we break down the latest AP poll and give you insights on my updated Power 36. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized, on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly. Easier said, done.
This podcast is brought to you by AT&T Fiber with Wi-Fi. Whether you're into watching horror movies from your basement, watching sports from your backyard, or watching trashy reality shows from inside your car that's parked all the way in the driveway so no one in your family judges you, AT&T Fiber with Wi-Fi is the best way to watch whatever you want from wherever you are.
Get AT&T Fiber with Wi-Fi and add some Wi-Fi square footage to your house. Limited availability in select areas. Go to att.com/hypergig to check eligibility. Coverage requires extenders at additional charge.
This is the plaintiff, Claudia Anderson. She says she was leaving her building with her little Yorkie, and next thing she knows, the defendant's vicious beast of a dog grabs her Yorkie in its mouth and starts shaking it violently. The defendant's unleashed dog killed her Yorkie. Her family's devastated, and she's suing the uncaring, unsympathetic defendant for the state max of $5,000. This is the defendant, Joanna Despinas. She says her pit bull puppy was on her side of the fence, and the plaintiff's feisty, barking dog antagonized her dog, and there was a fight between the fence. The plaintiff's dog wasn't on a leash. It approached her fence, and she feels she's not responsible for buying the plaintiff a new dog when her dog was an old dog and didn't have much longer to live anyway. She's accused of not mending fences.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff says the defendant's pit bull viciously attacked and killed her Yorkie. But the defendant says the plaintiff's dog was antagonistic and was so old it would have died soon anyway. It's the case of Old York. Old York.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Claudia Anderson?
Yes.
You are suing Johanna Despinas?
Yes.
For $5,000, $650 of it, the cost of a new dog, plus dog supplies, plus lost work, plus emotional distress because her dog killed your dog, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
What happened?
First of all, start the story. I had Coco for the last 9 to 10 years. She was a runt. Her mother didn't take to the dog. I literally had to nurse the dog, bottle feed the dog, because the mother wouldn't take care of it. We had the dog. We was Saturday morning, 10:3:15. We going to take my son to football practice. We come down the step. We didn't see the dog in the fence and the gate. So when we came down the steps, my dog started barking. Her dog ran up to my side of the fence, snatched my dog in.
Okay, but hold on, because you come down the stairs, and where are the stairs in relation to, quote, the fence you're talking about?
Right next to each other.
Does anybody have a picture of this?
Yes, I do.
Okay, can I see it? And where does it lead to? Is there a building door that's inside of there?
The building door, it comes when you walk out of The building, the gate is right there.
Okay, let me see it. Maybe I'll have a better idea once I see the picture. Okay, so these are the steps that you walked down by, and then this
That's
is
the
where the dog was?
Yes.
All right, and then this grassy area is used for what purpose in that building?
I don't know. They just have grass there because there's a few of them on each side of every building.
Does the pedestrian gate work? Does it lock and unlock?
It comes up, but it doesn't lock.
Doesn't latch?
No, ma'am.
All right, so you're walking down here and...
I'm walking down them stairs.
And your dog is on a leash?
Yes.
But...
When I hit the bottom...
Had you ever seen that dog in there or other dogs?
I didn't even pay... Have I seen? No, I haven't
That dog
seen.
or any other dogs in there?
In there, no.
Okay. You're walking down and...
My dog barked.
And what did her dog do?
He stuck his head out the gate and snatched my dog in and just put it in the mouth and mauled it.
What, your son was with you?
Yes.
I'm sorry. Is this your son? I'm
Yes.
sorry, darling. Were you with her too?
Yes.
Who are you?
I was at work at the time.
All right. The death of a pet is a very difficult thing. Dying is part of living, especially when it comes to pets, which is a short-lived love. But were you present when it happened or no?
No, I came after.
Who was present?
My stepfather.
Can you please come up? What kind? First, let me ask you, what kind of dog is this?
A pit bull mix.
Of course. All right. So, was your dog on a leash?
My dog? No, my dog in the gate.
Let me see your pictures. So the dog was not on a leash, right?
No.
What gives you the right there to have a pit bull loose there without a leash?
When we walk out with the dog, we had the leash. We put the dog inside the gate and took the leash off so she's able to use the bathroom.
What? She can use the bathroom with the leash on. You know that, right?
Yeah, but I understand that, but we put her in the gate and closed the gate.
Okay, but according to her, the gate doesn't latch, closed.
But it's still closed.
Okay, I don't understand. There's a thing that goes like this, and then it goes here, and it catches, or can I just touch it? If I kick it, give it a little kick, will it open?
Yeah.
Yeah, so can your dog, if it gets away from you because it's not on a leash, and it wants to get to the Yorkie, right? So are you picking up what I'm putting down, that you don't have a right to do what you were doing? You know, the idea is you're supposed to have control of your dog. And when you have a dog like a pit bull, they have a certain innate tendency that's their nature, okay? And that's where the problem lies. What did you do when the dog grabbed the Yorkie and yanked it?
He don't grab it. He just one in the gate. So that's why my dog, fight with the little dog. That's why,
Because that dog had the audacity to go where your dog decided to be by going under the gate?
Yeah.
Okay. You get involved. Were you in the apartment?
I came afterwards when the dog was still alive.
Oh, so what happened?
He called me. I came outside immediately, and when I came outside, it was her son, and her daughter. And I told Poppy to go get his car. So while she had the dog in the blanket, I was trying to keep her.
Where'd the blanket come from?
I'm not sure. I guess her daughter came down afterwards.
Okay. Do you have a picture of the dog?
Yes,
I see it. Did you see a leash on the dog?
No.
Okay. Meaning you didn't see it, or you know it wasn't there?
It wasn't there. She had the dog in the blanket with no leash.
Oh, it came down a while later. When were these pictures taken?
That was 2 days before it happened.
Okay.
I just wanted to bring you the recent.
This is at the vet?
Yes.
What is this a picture of?
Coco in the coffin.
Did you take the dog to the vet with her?
Yes. While he got his car, we went. Her daughter sent us to a destination. We went to the animal hospital first.
In his car?
Yes.
Okay.
And that's when the dog passed away when we arrived. And we paid for the bill for that vet.
Let me see your bills. Now, at some point, you did feel bad. I mean, you got in the car, you took her to the vet, you paid for the bills that day, and you felt bad, and so you offered to her what?
A Pomeranian dog.
Not your Pomeranian.
No.
Right, a different Pomeranian.
Yes, a free Pomeranian dog.
A free Pomeranian dog that was how old?
1.
1?
Yeah.
And had she said yes?
No, she denied it. She said she didn't want the dog because it wasn't a baby. because that's how she got Coco.
Because it wasn't a baby.
Yeah.
Right. What did you end up doing?
What do you mean?
After the dog passed away, did you buy another dog?
The same day my son went and purchased the dog. My oldest son.
Oh, gotcha.
Can I elaborate on her story, ma'am?
Yeah.
My dog never went into the gate. I did not see the dog. If you see the stairs, I walked down.
Was your dog on a leash?
Yes, ma'am. And they gave me the leash with.
Who's they?
The vet that when they did the CPR because they tried to revive her, they had to take the leash off of her and her raincoat off of her.
Come on up.
So, are pit bulls more aggressive than other dogs? What do you think?
I don't think so. I think it depends on the trainer. Whoever.
So you think it's the person? Pit bulls more aggressive?
No, I agree. It's a trainer. They get a bad rap. But.
Well, why are there so many pit bull attacks then? Why are there so many pit bull attacks?
I think it's the way they're raised, actually.
God, you look like Selena Gomez.
She just got that. She just got that.
God. Going inside. Oh my God, in The Big Short, she was so good going inside the courtroom.
If you don't remember, just tell me you don't remember. Do you know whether your dog was on a leash or not?
My dog was on a leash.
How are you so sure?
Because I saw when my mom put the leash on upstairs.
Okay.
And I never walk my dog without a leash because she barks. I just have a few.
Why would she have to pay supplies for a new dog?
Because I'm looking at the fact that I had to buy the new.
Why did you had a dog and you had supplies? If you want fresh
but
supplies.
they're all pink. If I could show you, everything in my bag is
They need to be blue now.
Yeah, because it was a boy dog that he purchased.
Can I see the receipt? Did you hand me the receipt for the?
I had you a
did.
few receipts
that
for purchases. I didn't have the rest of them, like for his dog leash and things like that. And
you're also suing for $653 for the price of the dog and almost $600 for 3 days of lost work.
Yeah, I will make 22 hours, $22.45 an hour, and I'm a full timer, 8.5 hours for 3 days. That was that.
Why did you miss work for 3 days?
First of all, when I would drop my son off, I supposed to have went into work, and I couldn't. I just couldn't go. And then I had to go and file to appear in court, and then for today.
You can't make a $653 lawsuit into a $5,000 lawsuit that way by claiming lost work. That's not a compensable expense. What you have is whether you love your dog like a daughter or not is not relevant to the law. It's property. So the issue is that somebody, if I believe the way you say it happened, that somebody damaged your property. What you don't get emotional distress because, you just don't. It's not how we deal with lost pets, even though I know it's very emotional distressing. Emotional distress is for a different type of case. It's not for property damage. So I'm sorry to explain it to you in that hard, cold reality, but that's how it is. Because otherwise, every pet case would then be a $5,000 case, depending on how much you love your pet. I believe that your dog was on a leash. I believe that he didn't have control of the dog, and I'm going to order them to pay the $653.25 that the new dog cost. They've already paid all the medicals of the prior dog, and I'm talking. Do you both hear me talking? And your court costs, of course. Verdict for the plaintiff. Good luck, folks.
Yeah, the defendant's right here. Come on out here. What about this case?
She's a liar. She didn't even give me yes. We did have an agreement that I was gonna give her $400 and $200 per month, but she went right away, signed up for the suing papers, and she didn't tell me nothing.
Come over here. Put yourself in her shoes, and imagine your dog being shaken and killed by another person's dog. How would you feel if you were?
We felt bad. That's why we offered money in the first place. I offered her $400. She went, even despite she.
Is this ever going to happen again?
No.
Are you sure?
If she don't, it's her fault. Her dog died.
Head right out.
Got
Head
no
right out.
sympathy for that.
No sympathy, she says. Okay. No sympathy for what happened is what she says on the way out. What's going through your mind here?
I just want people to know that you gotta have your dog on a leash. At the end of the day, your dog, your animals are like family members.
What was it like for you to go through this thing?
I knew that dog since I was a baby. I had her since I was like a child.
Well, you understand the law, that you have to swallow the fact that, pain and suffering or all that stuff isn't part of one of these dog cases. Hard to swallow that?
Yes, but justice has been served.
Mm-hmm. Harvey?
Okay, the judge mentioned property damage here. Dogs are considered property under the law, which I think is crazy. And that will do it for this case of litigants. For the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.
This episode is brought to you by Folgers Coffee. You're not just any coffee drinker. You're a Folgers coffee drinker. Because for over 170 years, Folgers has been serving up expertly crafted brews that are bold, never bougie. And now there's over 20 varieties to choose from. Damn good coffee roasted in New Orleans. Damn right, it's Folgers. Visit FolgersCoffee.com/coffee to shop now.
These are the plaintiffs, Angela and Kristen. Angela says her daughter Kristen rented an apartment during her senior year in college. Now that they've moved out, the defendant, their landlord's being hard-headed. They were promised a check within 30 days for their security deposit, but never got it. Never heard from the defendant, and they're tired of waiting around for the money. Seems this is a recurring situation with the defendant taking students' money. And that's why they need the judge's help today to get their $861.22 returned. This is the defendant, Terry Carr. He says the girls spot painted the walls with different colored paint when they moved out, and also left the bathroom in disarray and dirty. These kids are going out into the world thinking they can get away with anything they want, and he's here to show them they can't, because they have to pay for the damages they caused. He is accused of taking advantage of some college co-eds.
All parties, please raise your right hands.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. The plaintiff rented an apartment for college and says she got royally taken advantage of, but the defendant says the girl spot painted the joint. It's the case of Hugh screwed me.
Thank you, Douglas. Okay, Angela and Kristen, you've asked us to refer to you just like that and no last names. We'll respect that. You are suing Phyllis Stewart, who is represented here by you. You're Terry Carr.
Yes.
You are Phyllis's son-in-law?
Her daughter is my fiance.
Her daughter's your fiance, and you manage a place for her?
I help her when she needs help.
Okay.
Painting, cleaning.
All right. For $861.22 that you say is due you for lost wages and double the withheld portion of a security deposit. All right. I can't tell who's mother and who's daughter.
I'm the daughter.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Honestly, I mean, that's kind of hard. She should be thanking me. Go ahead.
I was going to say, she loves to hear that.
So talk to me.
Okay, so we moved out way before our deadline.
And you moved in why? For college?
Yes, our senior year we're allowed to live off campus. So we have like 1 year.
What college were you going to?
Otterbein University.
Okay, so you lived in that home. Mm-hmm. And did you do all your dealings with him and his fiance?
We sent our rent checks to Phyllis in Florida.
No, I know, but you know, how often did Phyllis in Florida stop by? And
I've never seen
Okay,
the woman,
got it.
so.
You've never met Phyllis. All right, so go on. So what happens? You guys move out because it's the end?
We move out. My roommate does a walkthrough with his fiance. She says everything looks good, that we should be hearing from them within a month.
Okay.
It gets to like end of July, and we're like, we haven't got a rent check back.
When did you move out?
Middle of May.
So you hear nothing in June, and then July comes, and what happens?
End of July, I call her. I'm like, hey, Phyllis, I've never had my rent check back.
Had you ever talked to her before or no?
No, she's called my house for missing rent that wasn't mine. It was the other one. So I've never really talked to this one.
Okay. All right.
Until then. So still wasn't a pleasant interaction. I asked her how much I would expect to get back. She said $48. I was astonished. I was like, what do you mean?
Did she say why?
She said that we'd be in contact when I got this little piece of paper in the mail.
Okay. Who'd you get that paper from?
Phyllis herself.
Okay. So it's a little piece of paper with handwriting on it, and what it says is taken out of deposit, a wasted trip by Air Plus Heating and Cooling. He had an appointment, but when he got there, no one to let him in. That was $100. Utilities, $33.64.
That was from before they even moved in.
Yes, here it is.
How do you know?
She sent us a copy of the billing date, which was to June 2nd, 2014, and we moved in June 1st, 2014. So it was from May 30th to June 2nd, 3 days before we had moved in.
From May 30th to June 2nd? Well, that's because the other people, when they left, they took it out of their name.
Yeah.
But your lease started on what day?
June 1st.
Okay, so why wouldn't it be yours?
We never got billed for it. We've never had that bill.
Because it was under her name until you put it in your name.
Yeah.
You should have put it in your name as of June 1st.
Yeah, our
but you
power didn't turn on until June 2nd, so I don't know.
No, it turned out in your name on June 2nd, but you had power June 1st because the power company's billing for power on that day. You know what I mean?
I understand.
Okay, but did you move in on May 30th or did you move in on June 1st?
June 1st.
Okay, all right, so we'll figure that out. Utilities, cleaning the apartment, $100. How did you leave the place?
I felt like I left it better than when I moved in.
Did you take pictures?
I did not get a chance to take pictures because
How many
her
of you
daughters-
college kids were living there?
There's 3.
And no one thought to use a phone for something other than nasty pictures. Phones are for evidence too, and whenever you leave or come into an apartment, you video. That's what you should do. But you don't know that. But now you do.
I know.
And if you watch people sport while you were in college, you would have gotten a better education. All right, so carpet cleaning. How'd you leave the carpets?
We vacuumed weekly. We vacuumed before we left. We did another
Did anybody
walkthrough.
stain it?
No, there were no stains. It had relatively new carpet
The
on
other
them.
mom, she did carpet clean before
Like
we moved in,
shampooing.
and she said the water was black when we moved before we moved in.
All right, repair
Nobody has
paint walls, $75. Fire alarm batteries, $5. Did you guys take the batteries?
No.
Or are they suggesting they weren't fresh? Missing light bulbs. Did you take light bulbs?
We had to go buy light bulbs when we moved in.
Blah, blah, blah. What evidence did she send with this note? This document that you've handed me, and what else?
That, and then we wrote her a letter about the 30-day charge, and she sent me a second check for $100, so partially admitting.
Wait, what do you mean a 30-day charge?
We sent her a letter saying we were going to pursue this because of the 30 days. You have 30 days to return the deposit, or you're due double. So then
Well,
she
it's
sent
not
us
quite like
this.
that. Hold on, slow your roll. In your state, if a landlord doesn't give you in writing the reason within 30 days, which didn't happen here, but if it doesn't happen, then you can demand of the landlord double what is wrongfully withheld. You still got to prove it was wrongfully withheld. All right, let's talk. Let me talk to you. Where did this little note come from?
The note would be a summary of the stuff that had to be done when they left.
What was wrong with it?
Well, the carpets needed cleaned. They were, 3 girls, 3 boyfriends, friends over the period of a year. You're going to have to. Well, they wanted them steam cleaned when they moved in, and so part of the deal was.
Did they pay you to steam clean it when they moved in?
No, they didn't.
Well, then why did they have to pay you to steam clean it for the next guy? Yeah, they wanted to steam clean, and if the guy wants a steam clean, he either negotiates with you for you to do it, or he does it himself. So do you have any pictures of the carpeting?
No pictures of the carpeting.
Okay. The fact that the rest of it wasn't clean, how was it not clean?
It was like they just picked up stuff, and like she said, swept. It wasn't like counters weren't wiped, floors weren't wiped, toilets weren't cleaned, any of that. That all had to be cleaned. Refrigerator wasn't cleaned out.
Is that how you gave it to them?
No.
Oh.
Like I said, that was the whole point. I'm getting at. They fussed when they moved in that it wasn't up to their standard.
Right.
But that's where they left us. And so he came in. It was Memorial Day weekend. Basically spent all Memorial Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
Do you have any pictures of how it was unclean?
I don't know if I have any, but here's one.
Okay.
This is not a very good picture, but it shows just it's an example of what was going on the walls. They had hung up pictures
like that when I moved in.
and went and repaired all the little holes, and then spackled over them, and then never sanded the spackling and painted over them with a different paint. It looked like it was the same color, but
Tell me about that.
I touched up all the paint in the walls. We found paint in the basement that we assumed was to the walls, and it's a college
so
house.
much.
This thing is not the Hilton. I'm sorry, but when we
No. But if you're drilling into people's walls, you are technically supposed
And I did
to.
spackle and I did sand, and then we touched up paint and it matches this week.
Right, you didn't match it. I'm looking at the
Clear,
picture.
I guess not.
I mean, no, don't roll your eyes when I tell you that. I'm looking at the picture.
Okay, can 3 college girls rent an apartment for a year and possibly keep the place in good enough condition they're not going to get docked security?
Probably.
Really? Oh, I don't believe you just by the way you said it. I'm going in the back there. What do you think?
I think so. We've done it before, and it wasn't a problem.
Oh, come on. Somebody who's going to get real with me?
Nah, I don't think it's possible. 3 college students of any kind. I mean, a year and a...
Girls, too.
Girls, especially.
I just wanted to say it. Going inside the courtroom.
Okay, here's what I'm confused about. You're suing for your third?
Yes, each of us got different amounts back, and I got like the least amount back.
Okay, how much did you get back?
$48, and then I got a second check for $100 after I wrote
How
my
much
letter.
was your security deposit?
$335.
That's just your part?
That's just my part.
Okay. The entire utility bill was $33 for those 3 days. Why is all of it being taken out of her security deposit? How are these decisions made? I mean, you're here for her, so you got to be able to explain them.
Well, that I'm not sure how she got to those numbers.
Okay. Here's what's going to happen. Her portion of the electricity bill is $7.47. So she takes all the utilities out of hers, which she can't. And it's only for 2 days, not 3 days, because they didn't move in on May 30th. She takes cleaning, carpet cleaning, the wall, I guess the repair of the wall or the painting of the wall, sanding and painting of the wall might be something.
Several walls, like every...
You got pictures of them? Start taking pictures. When you want to keep people's security deposits, you should have pictures. And when she keeps $5 for fire alarm batteries, what's that about? Were the batteries missing or dead?
One was missing, one was dead.
Okay, gotcha. Based on what I've listened to, what you have a right to keep is $40.80. And I am ordering the landlords to pay you back $290.84. Verdict for the plaintiff. That's my judgment.
All right, the defendant fought and fought, and the plaintiffs wind up getting some of their money back. Step on in and tell me, you okay with this ruling?
Sure, seems fair. Just know what she's doing.
What about taking pictures of the place before the people move in? More pictures, some better pictures. So in case something like this happens, they are evidence.
That's a great tip. I think everyone should do that on both sides, the people that are moving in and the landlord. That way, just there's no questions at the end, you know?
That's the people's court way. All right, head around the corner this way, and let's see what the plaintiff has to say coming in here. Are you satisfied with what you come out of here with?
Yeah, I'm happy. So.
All right, you have to sand after you spackle,
Lesson learned.
All right. He intimated at least that college kids are irresponsible and they just exit thinking they can leave things any way they want. And what's your response to that?
My mom didn't raise me that way, so I know I didn't leave it poorly.
Okay, Harvey?
Okay, Kurt, so here's the thing. We talk a lot about when the landlord can deduct security and when they can't. If it's normal wear and tear, where you're in a place for 4 years and the carpet's kind of threadbare, tough luck for the landlord. I mean, that's just normal wear and tear. Refrigerators, they go after a certain number of years, but at a point there are certain things you can't do. If you put nails in the wall to put pictures up, and you think, well, everybody expects to have pictures, that's fine, but the landlord is allowed to have the same clean wall he had when you moved in, and if you put nails in the wall, he can dock you security.
Hi, this is Andy Katz, host of March Madness 365, presented by Grammarly. This week on the podcast, listen as we break down the latest AP poll and give you insights on my updated Power 36. Listen to March Madness 365 with Andy Katz, presented by Grammarly, wherever you get your podcasts. Grammarly is a secure AI writing partner that gives your team an instant first draft in a few clicks, not a few hours. Companies that use Grammarly save an average of 19 days per employee per year. Grammarly works seamlessly across 500,000 apps and websites. Get personalized, on-brand writing help everywhere your team works. Learn what better writing can do for your company at Grammarly.com. Grammarly. Easier said, done.